phones, Babylons can't crack the code.
What do YouTube? B Kelly back again with another banger video. In today's video, y'all, I'm going to be talking about what happened to the past 10 number 1 ranked offensive linemen from the 2011 to 2020 recruiting classes, according to 24/7 Sports. Now let's get on to the video. In the 2011 recruiting class, the number 1 offensive lineman in the nation was offensive tackle Cyrus Kouandijo, who would end up going to Alabama. In this year's class, he ranked as the number 2 player in the nation. Kouandijo would play quite a bit in his freshman season at Alabama, as in the 2011 college football season, he would appear in the first 8 games for the Crimson Tide until he suffered a knee injury versus Tennessee that would make him miss the rest of the season. In 2012, he was the starting left tackle all 14 games for the Crimson Tide, and he even won the 2013 BCS National Championship game versus Notre Dame, and he was known as one of their top offensive linemen that season. And as a junior in 2013, he made the All-SEC first team, and after that season, he would forgo his senior season and would declare his name for the 2014 NFL Draft, where he was taken in the second round by the Buffalo Bills. Cyrus Kouandijo would only play 3 seasons with the Buffalo Bills, primarily as their backup left tackle, and with the Bills, he did suffer some injury issues that would eventually be the reason why he was released. Shortly after, Kouandijo would sign with the Lions, but he would not make it out of preseason. Shortly after that, he would sign with the Denver Broncos, and he would play a total of 3 games in that season before being released, and even starting in one of them. In 2018, he would sign with the Broncos again, but his time there was very short-lived as he only played 2 games. Cyrus Kouandijo is currently in the Canadian Football League with the Saskatchewan Roughriders. Coming out of the 2012 recruiting class, the number 1 offensive lineman in the nation was offensive tackle DJ Humphries, who ranked as the number 3 player nationally, and he would end up going to Florida. DJ Humphries, when he got to Florida, was an immediate impact player, as he started in 12 games for the Gators, and according to Sporting News, was a freshman All-American that season. In 2013, he started in 6 of the 7 games he played in at left tackle, before suffering a season-ending knee injury. In 2014, he would play in 10 games and start in all of them as a left tackle, and he missed 2 games due to injury. He would forgo his final year of college eligibility and declare his name for the 2015 NFL Draft. DJ Humphries would end up being taken in the first round with a 24th overall pick by the Arizona Cardinals. DJ Humphries has spent a total of 5 seasons in the NFL so far, all with the Arizona Cardinals. Now, he's had a couple seasons where he's dealt with some nagging injury issues, such as 2017 and 2018, but besides that, he's been pretty healthy his entire career, and he's started in every game he's played in as well, and has been a pretty reliable offensive lineman for the Arizona Cardinals. Right before the 2020 NFL season, he would end up signing a 3-year, $45 million contract extension with the Cardinals through the 2022 season. Coming out of the 2013 recruiting class, the number 1 offensive lineman in the nation was offensive tackle Laremy Tunsil, who ranked as the 4th best player in the nation, and he would end up going to Ole Miss. Laremy Tunsil at Ole Miss would be an immediate impact player, just like everyone I've mentioned in the video so far. He was very key for the Ole Miss offense in this season as a freshman in the 2013 college football season. By the end of it, Tunsil earned SEC All-Freshman honors by the league's coaches and first-team Freshman All-American honors by the Sporting News. Laremy would have a big sophomore campaign in 2014 as he played in 11 games, and after it was all said and done, he was named All-SEC by the Associated Press. As a junior, he would have a huge 2015 college football season and would eventually forego his final year of college eligibility and declare his name for the 2016 NFL Draft. Now, going into the 2016 NFL Draft, Laremy Tunsil was seen as one of the top prospects in all of that draft and the top offensive lineman in that draft. But his draft stock would end up falling literally right before the draft was literally going to start. Literally like 10 minutes before it was going to start, because he got hacked and photos got revealed and a video got revealed of him smoking a bong out of a gas mask. He would end up being selected with the 13th overall pick by the Miami Dolphins. Laremy Tunsil would spend 3 seasons in Miami in his first 3 years in the league before being traded to the Texans. In his 3 years in Miami, he was very consistent and was a very good offensive lineman. And the best part is he stayed very healthy, and he started in every single game he played at in Miami. He started in all 44 games he played in. As I said, after his 3 years were up in Miami, he would end up being traded to the Texans, where in that 2019 season with the Texans, he would make his first ever Pro Bowl. And right before the 2020 NFL season, he would become the highest paid offensive lineman after signing a 3-year, $66 million contract extension with $57 million guaranteed with the Texans. In the 2020 NFL season, he would end up making another Pro Bowl. In the 2014 recruiting class, the #1 offensive lineman in the nation was Cam Robinson, offensive tackle, who ranked as the #4 player in the nation, and he would end up going to Alabama. Cam Robinson at Alabama was a straight beast. This guy started in every game he played in since he was a freshman to all the way in his last game of his junior year. And he was a huge contributor to Alabama and all their success in those years. Cam Robinson was just a different breed. And after his 3rd year at Alabama, he would declare early for the 2017 NFL Draft, where he would go in the 2nd round, 34th overall pick to the Jacksonville Jaguars. Cam Robinson would come on to Jacksonville as an immediate starter, as in his rookie season, he started in all 15 games he played in. But in 2018, he could only play in 2 games after tearing his ACL, but in 2019, he would come back and start in all 14 games he played in. And in 2020, he played all 16 games and started in all 16 games for Jacksonville. Right before the 2021 NFL season, just recently in this offseason, he was placed on a franchise tag. Coming out of the 2015 recruiting class, the #1 offensive lineman in the nation was offensive tackle Martez Ivey, who ranked as the #2 player in the nation, and he would end up going to Florida. Ivey would spend 4 seasons at Florida, where he was a starting offensive lineman in all 4 seasons, and was a big contributor to the Gators and their offensive line. Now, he was very decorated with all SEC teams throughout his career, and in the 2019 NFL Draft, he would end up going undrafted, and shortly after the draft, he would sign with the Patriots, but would not make it past preseason. He would then take his talents to the 2020 season for the XFL, where he played with the Tampa Bay Vipers, and after that, he would sign with the Carolina Panthers for the 2021 NFL season, but would not make the actual final roster. In the 2016 recruiting class, the #1 offensive lineman in the nation was offensive tackle Greg Little, who ranked as the 3rd best player in the nation in his class, and he would end up going to Ole Miss. In Greg Little's freshman season in 2016 with Ole Miss, he would start in 5 games for the Rebels, while primarily being a backup offensive lineman that would still play a lot. In that season, he was named a freshman All-American according to rivals, an SEC All-Freshman First Team according to their coaches, and SEC All-Freshman Second Team according to Athlon Sports. In 2017, as a sophomore, he would start in every game for the Rebels, as he made the All-SEC Second Team according to AP, coaches, and Phil Steele. He would have a monster season in 2018 in his junior campaign, and when it was all said and done, he was All-SEC First Team and All-American Second Team. After his junior season, Greg Little would end up declaring his name for the 2019 NFL Draft, where he was taken in the 2nd round, 37th overall pick by the Carolina Panthers. Greg Little has spent 2 seasons in Carolina so far, and has not had a career that many people thought he would have as of now. In his rookie year in 2019, he would only be able to play in 4 games, where he started in 3 of them, and in 2020, he was primarily a backup offensive lineman, as he played in 10 games, only starting in 3 of them. Now, he is expected to have a much bigger impact in 2021, but so far, injuries have gotten the best of him, and he has been kind of disappointing so far in his career. But I hope he does turn it around in year 3. In the 2017 recruiting class, the #1 offensive lineman in the nation was Alex Leatherwood, who was an offensive tackle, ranked as the #4 player in the nation, and he would end up going to Alabama. Leatherwood would appear in 7 games for Alabama, but saw a significant amount of playing time in the 2018 College Football Playoff National Championship game. In his sophomore campaign, he started all 15 games for Alabama and was named 2nd Team All-SEC. In his junior campaign, he would end up making the 1st Team All-SEC team according to American Football Coaches Association. And as a senior in this past 2020 college football season, he would start all 13 games for the Alabama Crimson Tide, was SEC All-First Team, and was even a co-winner of the Jacobs Blocking Trophy. Leatherwood is seen as one of the top offensive linemen in this upcoming 2021 NFL Draft. In the 2018 recruiting class, the number 1 offensive lineman in the nation was offensive tackle Nicholas Petit-Frere, who ranked as the 7th best player in the nation, and he would end up going to Ohio State. Nicholas would end up redshirting in his true freshman season in 2018, but in 2019 with Ohio State, he would play in all 14 games as a backup, and in 2020, he was battling for the starting job, but was primarily the backup for that season, and for the 2021 college football season, he is projected to be the starting offensive lineman on that Buckeyes team. In the 2019 recruiting class, the number 1 offensive lineman in the nation was Neal, who was an offensive tackle and ranked as the 7th best player in the nation, and he would end up going to Alabama. Neal would be an immediate impact player for Alabama in his freshman campaign in the 2019 season, as he started all 13 games for the Crimson Tide at left guard, and he was a freshman All-American according to 24/7 Sports. And in the 2020 college football season this past season, in his sophomore campaign, he was the starting right tackle, and even won the national championship. And the final player I'm going to be talking about today is coming out of the 2020 recruiting class, and that is Paris Johnson Jr., the offensive tackle, who ranked as the 9th best player in his class, and he would end up going to Ohio State. In his freshman season in the 2020 college football season, he was a backup offensive lineman for the Ohio State Buckeyes. Well, guys, if you guys have made it this far in the video, remember to smash that like button, turn on them post notifications, and subscribe for more videos. Kelly out.